All right, with the rumor mill of buzz and the NBA draft looming on Thursday, the future may not be as clear as we think it is for Portland Trailblazers superstar Damian Lillard. We've already seen one massive name in Bradley Beal being traded to the Phoenix Suns, and all signs and reports pointed to Damian Lillard being the next one up. But he has been adamant for years now that he wants to stay in Portland. He wants to win in Portland. And he's put the ball in the Trailblazers' court. He is not committed to leaving despite multiple podcast appearances, despite gassing up lots of teams talking about players he'd want to play with. He is all in potentially on staying with Portland. And Portland holds a lot of cards here. The Miami Heat are loading up. They did not land Bradley Beal, and they want to offer a massive package to bring Portland superstar to South Beach to pair him with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler to finally get over that championship hunt and add another ring to Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra's collection. But it's not that simple. Portland has a lot of cards here, and they might be trying to flip the script, allegedly wanting to pair Bam Adebayo with Damian Lillard in Portland. Now, I don't think there's any way I could see the Heat letting go of Bam Adebayo. He's entering the prime of his career. I think he's going to take a big step this upcoming season. He's already one of the best rim protectors in the NBA and just needs to get that offensive game to that next level. And we saw that for large chunks of this postseason. But I get it. I know Dame wants to stay there. Portland might be committed to adding Dame, and they hold a very, very key piece here, and that would be the number 3 pick in the NBA draft on Thursday. There's really 3 guys in this draft that everybody wants. Victor Wembanyama, who's going number 1 to San Antonio, and then the 2 guys, Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller, are very, very coveted. Now, I'm a much bigger Scoot Henderson guy than I am a Brandon Miller guy. Scoot's going to come in, set the tempo, grind in the gym. Love everything about Scoot. I think he's going to be a stud in this league, but it's not necessarily set in stone that Charlotte's going to be taking him at number 2. And if they go with Brandon Miller to pair with LaMelo Ball, this is a huge pick because the NBA seems to really want to add Scoot. They also hold the number 23 pick on Thursday, and they have Anthony Simons that they can ship out. So the Portland Trailblazers actually have a lot of assets that they could send to a team to potentially build a winner, or at least try to build a winner with Dame right now. You could also look at it this the other way. You ship Dame out of town, you bring in a ton of draft picks, a ton of young talent, and potentially restart from there with Scoot or Brandon Miller as your guy. And it may take a little bit longer, more than you'd want to see in Portland, but hey, you'd still get really good value for Damian Lillard. It's a very interesting situation, I think. I do like that Portland is aggressive and they have not pulled the plug on Damian Lillard, because really, that 3rd pick is so valuable. I know everyone wants Dame, but are you willing to, give up the pieces to go get Dame? I think Miami has enough assets with all those guards, and they have a good chunk of picks. And those picks, it's 50-50 of those picks are going to be good or not. We've seen some bad seasons from the Heat, but then again, if you bring in Dame, that's probably a top team in the East. We've already seen them win 2 conference championships, been to a 3rd the past 3 seasons. So it's a really, really interesting roster move that they could be looking at. But I got to give it to Dame. He's really committed to staying in Portland. He really wants to win in Portland. And this felt like a done deal. The Bradley Beal situation kind of sped up out of nowhere, and he was traded within a week. Those stories came out. And the Dame story has been kind of dragging along for like 2-3 off seasons now, it feels like. And his contract really isn't that bad. $46 and $47 million the next 2 seasons. Now, I know he's going to be 33 and 34 years old. He doesn't play an ounce of defense, which is a slight concern if you're the Miami Heat. You're a defensive juggernaut. That's how you really grind people into a pulp. But man, they really, really need a go-to scorer. And Dame Time is his nickname for a reason. Absolutely clutch in the postseason, as we've seen, puts up huge numbers. So maybe you can take a dip in that defense slightly to significantly bolster your scoring, not to mention what that opens up for Jimmy Butler so he doesn't have to carry the load. We saw him wear down another guy in his early to mid 30s Bam Adebayo can take some of that stress off of them. I think Dame in Miami is an absolutely deadly conversation piece to have. But man, I don't know if I could seriously look at taking that 3 pick if I'm the Heat, and then maybe you take the 3 pick, you ship out Bam, and then you flip it again, but I just don't know who you would flip it for. I couldn't possibly think. You sign James Harden maybe? I don't know. James Harden seems to be going back to Philly. Maybe he goes back to the clubs in Houston. It's a really interesting scenario here. I like the aggressiveness from Portland, not committed to giving him and trying to flip the script on Miami, saying, we're going for Bam for you. I don't think Pat Riley would ever do that. Pat Riley's way too smart of a GM. I think they believe they are super, super close to getting that title, and they just need some offensive pieces. And maybe you lose a little bit of that depth, so some of those unsigned guys that you're not paying much to. Tyler Hero, who he wasn't healthy for the playoffs, gets hurt in game 1, and their offense goes from one of the worst in the league to one of the best in the playoffs. So maybe that's a piece you can get rid of, bring somebody else, and he necessarily doesn't work in that system. But hey, Heat culture is Heat culture, am I right? But very interesting to see what's going to go on. A lot of movement in the upcoming days with the NBA draft looming on Thursday. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Dame going to get shipped out of town? Does somebody just blow Portland away with an offer? Or do the Trailblazers actually manage to turn that number 3 pick and some other pieces, another first-round pick, into another winning star to pair with Dame in Portland and instantly vault themselves into playoff and possibly championship contention in the West? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share this video with your friends, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.